Mexico City, my favorite city in the world. A little under 20 million people live in this city. That's a lot of mouths to feed. Angus cow, there it is.
I got a man crush on that bull. Is that possible?
That's a specimen. Where does the best meat in the world come from? It comes from me, Mr. Meat Master, Rafael Hernandez. I'm a beef salesman. I travel around the globe selling the best beef in the world to the best chefs in the world. I started from nothing, and I put everything I have into growing my business. From the ranches to the packing plants to the restaurants. Every deal and every relationship counts.
It's like the stock market, you're trying to guess.
It's a battle for the appetites of the world. It's a new way of eating, and a new understanding of where our food comes from. Life is beautiful. Taste it. All right, let's got my passport ready. iPad, can't be without that. Some Mexican money. Another trip down to Mexico. When people ask me what's my favorite place to do business, the answer is always Mexico City. And with Mexico City being one of the most competitive culinary places in the world, I must have a piece of the pie. We're going down to Mexico for two reasons. One of them is to maintain relationship with our pre-existing customers, and the other one is to acquire new business. A little worried about making sure everything lands correctly.
What do you have? Oh, I don't have anything.
So I'm the guy that buys the beef from the big suppliers and takes it down to the restaurants. The second that meat is packaged, the clock is ticking. We're shipping high-end, quality beef, fresh. Something goes wrong with this, $300,000 down the drain. 2020 was a disaster for us. The pandemic hit. The process of delivery went down dramatically in Mexico. Not only did these travel restrictions leave my customers in the dark, but I was also handcuffed when it comes to gaining new customers.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So this is what this trip to Mexico is all about. Making new deals and making new businesses going forward. So when I head down to Mexico and I take Alfonso with me, since I decided to be married to Creekstone Farms, I told him, look, I'm an open book for you. I want you to know my customers. I want you to know where I'm heading with your meat.
So Alfonso Terrazas, Director of International Sales here at Creekstone Farms. We've tried many, many times to get into the Mexico market with our premium beef products and failed many times. Distribution partners would fail. I think a couple of years ago I started talking to Rafael. I'm like, man, I said, we gotta do something in Mexico. If we need to get into the premium business, somebody needs to get in there and do it right. Just conversation led to conversation. One small order led to a bigger order. Now we're at truckloads. We started introducing premium fresh beef in a market that was all commodity frozen. And it just slowly started shifting to the point where it's like, wow, that is great. It's fresh. And now that's all they want.
The hustle, the bustle, the culture, the art, and of course, my favorite, the restaurants. Business-wise, this is where I need to plant my flag. The first stop on my trip is the hardest part. Right out of the gate, I have to win a new customer, and this customer just happens to be one of the best and largest in Mexico City, Harry's Steakhouse. We begin our visit with catching up on business over drinks. What's on my mind? Logistics, product. We'll see how it goes.
The barbecue that you
Their executive chef is Diego Sobrino. He's head of all Harry's affiliate restaurants in Mexico City. If we can impress him, boom, we have a shoe-in in multiple high-end restaurants. He has extremely high standards. One tiny slip-up, and it's over. You know, are we going to be able to distribute all the restaurants? We've been honestly lacking the past year because of pandemic, so it's been a little tough for us. We're hoping this is, again, getting back to business with our customer.
And we actually have a delivery showing up at the same time we're going to be there.
Between a 1,500-mile journey, cold storage facilities, refrigerated trucks, delivery, anything could go wrong.
So we're going to get to see the product being unloaded, delivered to the chef. The chef's going to take the product out of the box, inspect it, look at it, cut it, smell it, taste it. He's going to season it. He's going to cook it. And it's very important for him to do that because he's the CEO of the restaurant. He's the master of the kitchen. If it gets his approval, everybody's happy.
As the rules take effect, Creekstone Farms is my supplier. I buy the meat from Creekstone Farms, and then it becomes my responsibility. Customers decide to cancel. Customers decide to take less meat. It's my responsibility. And we're talking about $1 million a month. Once it hits my truck, it's automatically my product.
Every time that we receive the meat, actually, we see the freshness of the meat. My name is Diego Sobrino, and I'm the corporate chef of all the restaurant Harry's in Mexico. Actually, one of the things that we have in Harry's restaurants is to work with the best product that we can find and show our customers all the products around the world. So we don't use a lot of different condiments into it. That's why we only put salt and pepper into our meat. Usually the day when the beef arrives, we try to go out with the supplier. The first thing we verify of our beef when it's arriving, we take it to a table and try to look about different details that can tell us if this is not the quality that we're looking for. For us, usually we work only with fresh beef. We don't use any frozen beef here in Harry's. The things that we hope and we pray every morning not to get in our beef is when you open the bag and you smell it, have a great, beautiful smell of beef. Don't have this rotten, I can feel it like in a green color, that smell, You smell rotten and your mind is like green. I don't know why. Maybe because then you have all the fungus that develop. So if we have this, we will stop that beef and we will take it back to the supplier. Usually, we shop it in half to see the quality and if it's a prime beef. What we're looking for here to verify if it's really, really prime beef, it's all the marbling that we have into it. So whenever we see this crust of fat into the muscle, it's really a good quality beef that we're looking for in our restaurant. We're gonna take a look of the marbling. If we have a big amount of marbling, a lot of beautiful grease into it, it's a good sign. If it's not the marble that we were looking for, we're gonna take it back. And then we're gonna take a look of all the different big tendons. If you have the big tendons into it, you will take it back. So usually those are both the two steps that we're doing.
One of the things Creekstone Farms and Mr. Meat Master is known for is delivering fresh meat straight to the customer. So right as we're making headway with this customer, we see a small portion of the delivery has frost on it. That means it's frozen. We're gonna look more into this.
So the product that showed up today had a little bit of a crust on it. It was a little bit of frozen to it, where the product should have been delivered fresh. So we don't want anything to affect that quality. So we want to work with our distributors, make sure the product's being handled the right way every single time so we can manage and control that consistency to our customer.
There was some non-communication in between there. So now we have frozen meat coming into these distributors where we're going to have to thaw out, but that automatically decreases the shelf life of the product. A $380,000 truckload that was frozen when it's supposed to be chilled. Now that shelf life is going to be very small. We're making sure that the chef is happy with the meat.
If it's good enough for us, then we're gonna start making our steaks. Just put into the oven, salt, pepper, a lot of flame, a lot of heat, and then bam, to the customer.
Once Chef Diego opens the package, he confirms the product is fine, and he immediately goes to work with passion and enthusiasm. We're having actually a tasting. New York strip, ribeye, strip loin, and some tomahawks being done from Creekstone Farms. So here's the big test for us. We brought the meat. The chef is excited. And now this is the goal. Make sure that the meat is what we represent.
Our meat in the restaurant, we cook it in our charcoal ovens. So we'll have this really high temperature, and then we're gonna have to caramelize all the exterior parts of the meat and keep all the juice inside into the meat. So you will have this beautiful caramelized, crunchy fat in your mouth, and inside of it, it will be so sweet and really, really soft.
Watching a professional chef work can be fascinating. These guys are like highly trained Navy SEALs. They can order and execute a plan out of chaos.
That's all ready?
That's what a kitchen is. Controlled chaos.
We only put salt and pepper in our beef to keep all the flavors of the meat. Just this part we're gonna cut it, just gonna add some oil. We're gonna make it flame. Actually, I got started a long time ago. My family have a farm in Veracruz, and we used to take care of all the animals and like take care of the trees and different products that we had at the farm. So my passion started over there, and then I don't know, I fall in love with the beef. Like butcher a beef is something that will really relax me. So once we take out the beef from the oven, we leave it here to take a little rest. Usually, all the meat, whenever you put it in a high temperature, you stress the meat, and all the fibers go really strange. So if you cut that beef, all the water, all the juiciness of the fillet is gonna go out. So you need to take the beef upside into the oven, just keep it warm, and when you cut it, all the juice will stay inside of the meat. So we will give more taste to our meat. We put some peppers with our meat, some garlic, and we put some curry sauce. It is an important part of the New York steak to get a little bit of a fine crust, really crunchy in the mouth. Wait for the service to start is like the main event of the day, you know, you're like waiting for the war to start. You're like relaxing, and then you have like this boom! You have all the people that arrive to the restaurant, all the adrenaline that starts going out, and you start to going bam, 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 taking out of different steaks, and after that, you get ready for the dinner. We try to avoid the flames from the steaks. What we're looking for is to get the flavor of the smoke, but not from the fire.
It's amazing what they could do with a steak. Watching Chef Diego pull a steak out of the oven, my mouth begins to water. It's easy to get excited in these moments, but I know the moment of truth is coming. Tasting the steak.
It's perfect, nice and red, really juicy.
It all comes down to one single moment, that first bite. You know what they say about first impressions? Well, in this industry, that first bite is do or die. Well, and there it is with the chef, the end product. Looks beautiful.
Amazing,
man. Look at those colors, amazing. That's how you cook a steak, chef.
Yeah, this is how you eat a steak. Yeah, the steak, rare.
This is the goal. Make sure that the meat is what we represent. Down the line, you guys will see what's happening. Full table, everything prepared. Let's hope for the best. We all take a seat at the table with Chef Diego. Now come the steaks.
I love the New Year's steak because you have a texture in your mouth.
Look, consistency in the meat.
Yeah. You have the fillet is really like
No fat around.
yeah, no fat. And this one is like really juicy, and you have something to bite on.
After the first bite, I'm in heaven. I think the chef is too.
What you look for in the meat when you're eating is all the marbling that we saw inside of it. The texture in mouth from the New York was amazing. It was juicy, and you have the flavors that combine the smoke and the bloody taste of the meat. Man, I feel home. It's like feeling cozy, like having a hug.
Yeah.
I have the opportunity to look at it really, really close, then take it to the grill, and actually another day doing whatever I love to do. It's cooking, man. You close your eyes and go to a happy place, man.
You transport it somewhere else automatically.
Pretty much vegetables, char, smokiness, nice texture.
Doesn't need much. A little salt, a couple of spices he puts in, and that grill that makes a magnificent job. I mean, doesn't get better than this. After all the travel and preparation, I feel really good about this visit here. The tasting was phenomenal, and Chef Diego and his staff treated us like family. We still have a couple stepping stones on the way. Cattle is still low on the market out there, so we're trying to get back to normal, but we're working at it.
It's the end of the day. Again, the chef got to cut it. We all got to taste it. Very, very good. You could see it in the end product. So mission accomplished. Everybody's happy. So we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Mr. Meat Master of Mexico City, Harry's Group.